So we're going to talk about if we just put ourselves into a situation. You are a pastor. You've got a lot of things that you're trying to do throughout the week, and you have an event coming up. Not many churches are blessed with the ability to have a full-time graphic designer on staff. And so what do you do in that situation? Well, typically one of two things happen. Either your event's going to go unpublicized, unpromoted, because you just don't have the technical know-how to be able to create the content to put it out, or you as a pastor, again, not having graphic design experience, are going to be putting out something that's really just not engaging. It's not going to put your best foot forward. It's not going to promote your event in the way that really it deserves to be promoted. So how do we do this? Well, again, we're going to start in ChatGPT. We're going to pretty much use ChatGPT throughout this entire episode until the very end. Everything that I'm doing now, you can do in Gemini as well. And so that's kind of the bridge there. And it really all works exactly the same. So, but we're going to talk about Gemini at the end. So when it comes to content creation, let's just pretend you have an event coming up. And let's say the event is, I'm going to just use a personal example. I'll try to leave out personal details, but say you have a church in the park event. So I'm in ChatGPT. I'm in the 4.0 model. And this is currently the premium version of ChatGPT. You can do this in the free version as well. Again, you're going to get better results on the higher models. And so if you find yourself doing a lot of this stuff regularly, $20 a month may be worth it. I know it's worth it for me because I use this stuff every day. Especially if you think of how much it would cost you to hire a graphic designer. $20 a month is highly affordable, especially with all the other benefits that you get from this. And so if you're using the tool, it does end up being worth it to pay for the premium subscription. If you're just using this at home for a personal thing, you really don't need. You can do all of this. I have a lot of good friends just use the free version. That's totally fine. So let's just give this a prompt. We're going to say, I have a, actually, let's say, create a square graphic to promote an upcoming event. And I really want it to say church in the park, so we're going to put that in parentheses because that's kind of the name. That's kind of the name of our event. The event is a church in the park. It is this Sunday. For anybody watching this that happens to attend my church and knows that we have this event coming up, it is not this Sunday. This is fictitious. It is this Sunday. Service starts at 10 a.m. with picnic to follow. And I'm actually going to leave this misspelt. I think it's good to just see. I think it'll figure it out. Picnic to follow. Bring your own chair. Bounce houses for kids. Invite a friend. I don't know, something like that. So this is actually a great opportunity. Let's just, I mentioned this in the last episode. Prompt writing is a skill. And it's a skill that we're going to see that we're going to get better and better at. It's almost it's like learning to use any tool. But not everyone's good at prompt writing. And so why don't we could literally, let's just copy this. Actually, I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to say, revise this prompt to make it more, we'll say effective in creating a social media graphic. So I'm now going to paste the kind of wishy-washy prompt that I just wrote. And this really just demonstrates that you don't have to have technical know-how. You just need to be able to communicate what it is that you want to this tool. And if you're not communicating it in a way that the tool would produce the best response, then tell the tool to rewrite what it is that you want for it to give you the best result. So this is exactly what we're doing. Revise the prompt to make it more effective in creating a social media graphic, and then we provide the prompt. So it's now going to revise the prompt, and it's giving a lot more details, vibrant. It keeps the quotes. So we're going to just copy this, and I'm now going to paste it right below. So we've literally just told it, very basic, this idea of this graphic that we want. We know we didn't do a good job in crafting the prompt. That's okay, because we then told the tool to revise it to make it a good prompt based off what we're looking for. And then we just then take that prompt that it wrote for us and enter it in, and it's now going to create the graphic. And so it's going to do this in real time. And we're going to sit, and we're going to wait for a minute. Again, while this is working on it, I would just encourage anybody that has any questions or anything that you'd like to see us make, um, throw it in the comments. Okay, so this is what we got. Um, so church in the park this Sunday, service at 10 a.m. Picnic to follow. Bring your own chairs. Bounce houses for kids. Everyone welcome. Invite a friend. You know, I mean, it's not a bad graphic. We are gonna have bounce houses. It kind of sets the stage. I appreciate that they, you know, I don't typically like to include people in an AI generated images, because it gets kind of dicey. So I appreciate it. That's more illustrative and not more artistic, and it's not like trying to make fake people. These are just drawings, and so. But say we didn't want that. Let's just say remove people and make it more simple, right? And so this is that conversational. We don't know what it is that we don't want until we see the thing that we don't want. And so we started very vague and very general, and then we can refine this through the process. So we're going to remove the people, make it more simple and clean, and we'll see what it gives us. And you can give it color if your church has specific color profiles, or I mean, really, just tell it what it is that you're wanting in that prompt. And if you're struggling with the prompt, then put the best you can in the prompt, and then tell it, revise this prompt to make it more effective for image creation, and it's going to do it for you. And so we're now revising the first graphic that it made. So this was graphic number one. If while it's producing, let's just back up for anybody that just happened to be popping in. The goal right now, we're looking at image creation, and so we knew that the prompt that we wrote was not going to give a good result. So this was the original prompt. We just literally wrote out what it is that we were wanting, gave it no specifics. We then added this kind of preface. We said, revise this prompt to make it more effective in creating a social media graphic. We included our little hodgepodge of a prompt. It then gave us a revised prompt that would actually produce a better result. We took that prompt and we just copy and pasted it in this same chat thread, and it produced this image for our Church in the Park event. We didn't want to include people in it, just because stylistically that's not what we're looking for. And so we said remove people and make it more simple and clean, and it did. If you wanted like a hyper realistic, photorealistic, or if you wanted it to look like it was taken from a certain type of camera, input all that stuff in the prompt, and it's going to do it. And so obviously we're looking at a very kind of minimalistic, kind of cartoony graphic. If you had a logo, we could right here add photos and files. I could include my church's logo and tell it to incorporate the logo into this image. And so I just hope you see this is a really short example of how this tool can be used. put yourself in the mindset of you're a pastor, you have maybe a part-time secretary, you don't have a graphic designer, you have this event coming up and it's an evangelistic event, you want people to come, you want people to see it, and you want to engage the community. Well, we live in a digital world where people are engaging on social media on these platforms, and you want to be able to promote your event. And so, this is an easy way for you to be able to do that in a way that maybe you just couldn't financially afford to before. Again, this is a simple design, but I used to work in commercial print. And so, I know what it costs to hire a professional graphic designer. It's 2 to 3 months worth of how much it costs for premium ChatGPT per hour to work on these types of things. And so, again, the challenge when if you don't utilize tools like this, which now make it so easy for us, one of two things are happening. You're either going to be putting out a worse product, and product being the promotion of your event, or you're not going to be promoting your event at all. And we put a lot of time and effort and energy into putting together awesome ministry opportunities. It's a shame to then not be able to promote it because we don't have the graphic design know-how to be able to do it. And so this is one simple, easy way. Again, make sure you check these things. The last thing you want to be doing is putting out some AI generated ad with somebody with 7 fingers or 3 arms or doing something weird. That's not the kind of attention you want for your event. And it's for that reason when it comes to AI generated stuff like this, I try to remove and just avoid things that are potentially controversial. No one's going to be upset over this AI generated bounce house. You put some person in this image, somebody might get upset. And so you can use your own wisdom in that. But if you have any questions, or if there's maybe an event that you have coming up and you'd like to see, I'll make an image for you here on stream. Just throw a brief explanation of your upcoming event, or maybe a sermon series if you want a sermon title graphic, something like that. Put it in the comments, and we'll pop this back up on screen, and we will potentially, hopefully, work on it together on stream. So that's graphic creation, and this is again through ChatGPT. There's so many tools now. There's Midjourney. There's obviously Gemini. Meta has an image creation platform. Ideogram. There's no shortage of places that you can go to use AI to create graphic design for you now. It does get expensive. If you start having 7 different subscriptions for 7 different tools, I mean, it gets pricey. It's just a reality. And so one of the things that I like to do, I've kind of committed myself. And this is, I mean, as somebody who studied this at a doctorate level, I've committed myself that I'm only paying for one premium subscription.